the front four, fifth are okay.
Just the one change Javi Gracia makes to his Malaga's side. In comes Angeleri in for the suspended Wellington. They beat Barcelona at the Camp Nou. Why can't they get a win or at least a point here tonight, Quinton?
Because the form Madrid is in. Unfortunately, I would love for them to put in the performance they did a week ago against Atletico Madrid, but Madrid at home, and if you look at the last game against especially Atletico Madrid, they could have scored about 3 or 4, and the form Ronaldo is in, and unfortunately, not disrespect the other players, it will be difficult for them.
A big game indeed for Real Madrid. Your commentary team, Jerry Armstrong and Kevin Keatings.
A warm welcome to the Santiago Bernabeu, where there's no margin for error for Real Madrid, who kick off 5 points adrift of Barcelona. Have to win here and keep up the chase. Of course, they have that second leg of the Champions League quarter-final against Atletico Madrid coming up here very soon, so it's a punishing period. And the selection tonight from Carlo Ancelotti centres around Karim Benzema's knee injury, which looks like it's going to force a change of formation. It is a fluid system. It's just a question of whether James Rodriguez plays essentially as the third striker. He may do that. There was some talk they might go 4-4-2, but as we've said, it's fluid, so James will have a little role operating, Jerry, we suspect, somewhere between the midfield and the attack.
Yeah, he's going to break forward on the left, but you know what you'll find as well? You'll find Isco dropping in behind the front two as well, and the whole Kevin to make it a 3. So I think they'll take it in turns. Isco, who's been having a great season, you know, playing regularly in the side this season, and then question the fact that he was left out last week. And then there was a Spanish international game which he played and he featured in, and you know, maybe the manager Ancelotti is looking at all options and thinking, I want to rest legs and keep the squad strong. But Varane's been rested today as well, Kevin. Does that suggest he wants to keep his pace for the game against Griezmann next week? I mean, there's loads of possibilities and permutations, but we're finding out what the squad's all about for Real Madrid, and the big question mark is at left back, because no Marcelo.
Well, no Contrao. Read into that what you will. He hasn't played a lot this season. Not the problem for Bale, yeah.
Holding his left leg, left calf. It's not good.
Nobody really positioned to threaten that cross. Plenty of time for the Ivorian, Arthur Boca. Decent season, Jerry, for Malaga. 7th. They can have a free hit tonight at the Bernabeu. Not in any threat of going down at all.
Remember, they beat Barcelona. They went and won at Nou Camp 1-0. And Bale's still down, and he's holding the back of that left calf muscle. I don't know if he's pulled something or what it is, but that's not looking good. He hasn't moved since he went down, what, 45 seconds ago?
Well, if Ancelotti were to listen to the Real Madrid supporters, he would play him left back in the second leg against Atletico Madrid. But I'm sure that won't happen. But there was a poll amongst the supporters, and he came out on top as the replacement for Marcelo in that return against Atleti.
I thought that was an interesting one, saying that. Look, you can see here, it looks like a little pull on the calf musle, which is not good.
Well, they won't take any risks.
Yeah, he's
second
coming
leg
off,
on
Kevin.
the horizon.
He's coming off. That's a bad blow.
Well, he must have been disappointed not to get a start with Benzema's injury. Javier Hernandez, the Manchester United loanee, and he gets an introduction with a little over 3 minutes gone here.
It looks like a calf strain, Gareth Bale. I don't think he'll be playing next week either. That could be a massive blow for Real Madrid. Believe it or not, he is a very important player to him. I know a lot of the fans were saying he was at fault for not scoring in the 1-on-1 against Oblak, but Oblak was sensational, Kevin, last week.
You know, it seems to me, Jerry, the more the Real Madrid supporters criticise Bale, and it's completely over the top, the more Ancelotti moves to say how well he's played this season, and an important component of the squad, of course.
Kevin, 17 goals, you know, and I haven't even mentioned the assists. He's such an important player. But that's not good. That's not nice to see that limping off in such a couple of minutes into the game with so many big games coming up.
Well, we shall try and get you more news on that Bale problem. the extent of it. Certainly looks like a calf injury, and that's the area he was holding.
Yeah. Straight down to get treatment, and probably an ice pack on that.
Here's Ronaldo. Now Dada. An excellent season at the heart of the Malaga midfield. A growing presence at the age of 21.
Good refereeing.
It's a clear foul, but Modric made light of it.
That's good from Bicandi. Garrido, the referee, kept the advantage going, and Real Madrid still in possession.
Modric. Pepe. If you had a choice between Pepe and Varane against Atletico, Jerry, which way would you go?
I'd go with the experience. I think I'd go with Pepe, but I'm just wondering what the thoughts of Ancelotti are. He may be looking at the pace and the fact that Griezmann's so quick over the first 5-10 yards. Will he want to play with Varane? Maybe that's why he's resting him tonight.
Modric beats off the initial challenge. Javier Hernandez unable to get a touch onto that. Marcelo's done well to prevent the goal kick.
If he can get his right foot, could he not have got left foot onto it and swing it? Well, Bale's explaining that Ronaldo will know more and better than anybody how important a player Gareth Bale is to the side. Especially with the injury to Benzema as well, Kevin. You know, your two of your front three missing.
There's James Rodriguez.
Great ball.
Hernandez. Real Madrid played some eye-catching football in that Champions League quarter-final first leg. Should have won and would have done, but for an outstanding performance from Jan Oblak in the Atletico Madrid goal.
He was fantastic, Kevin, wasn't he? He showed you why they paid 16 million euros for him.
Here's Arbeloa, who's a candidate to play at left back on the return. This is Marcelo. The whistle's already gone. The Brazilian was offside.
Yeah. Let's have a look at it. Well, he is offside. You know, it's marginal, but have to give it. The linesman's got the right decision. Definitely offside. His right arms, or sorry, his left arm's offside. You know, I remember the game against Barcelona when Malaga won 1-0, Kevin, and I remember the work ethic that night. They run. Everybody run 11.5 kilometers, you know, which is very uncommon. But they work so hard. Horta, Darda, Recio and Co, they all work so hard. And that's what they're going to have to do tonight. But it's a different option, I think. There's a lot more options for Real Madrid with the height of Ronaldo. He's so good in the air. But then you've got Angeleri and Sergio Sanchez, who are decent in the air. It's going to be interesting. No, break on.
Amrabat tests Pepe. He's not fully up to speed in terms of match fitness either. Samu Castillejo unable to get a touch onto the Amrabat cross.
Yeah, he done well, Amrabat, for me. Strong, Kevin. He was quite happy with the physical challenge against Pepe.
I know you like him, Jerry, you just don't think he scores enough.
He doesn't score enough goals. That's his problem. I mean, Kevin, I've looked at him earlier and I've said to you, he only gets 5 goals a season, 6 goals a season, which is not enough for a centre forward. But you can't fault his work ethic, and he's a good target man.
Currently on loan, Amrabat from the Turkish side, Galatasaray. Took a risk there, Khomeini.
Took too long for me. Offside. Offside. Chicharito trying to find him, and he did well to close down the goalkeeper initially, Cristiano, but he's trying to get offside, or back on side, Kevin. You can see he's clearly offside.
Just one shy of 50 goals. Ronaldo.
This is a challenge. Look at this. Look, he's strong, quite happy, shoulder to shoulder. And Castillejo doesn't score enough goals, full stop, Kevin. Technically he's good, but I do think he flatters to deceive. You know, I see him on the ball and he's got good technique, but one goal this season is not enough for me.
Reminded me of Jerry Armstrong in his pomp there. Amrabat, master of the shoulder charge. Or was it barge?
Well, his elbow's too low for me.
Here's Pepe. Kroos. Ramos for Marcelo. Isco. Arbeloa. Toni Kroos looks for Isco. Rosales in the way. Likes to get forward, this Venezuelan international fullback, Rosales.
Yeah, I said the earlier, Kevin, Rosales gets forward. Technically very good. You know, Venezuelan football's come on leaps and bounds. There's a lot of good players now coming through at international level.
They were hounding Ronaldo there. The free kick is delayed by referee Garrido.
Angular, the referee's going to have a word with him. And he has to be careful, Angular. He's one of those with a bit of a short fuse. Quite impetuous.
Here's Kroos.
Do well to keep that in.
That's too much of James.
We're going to miss the pace of Gareth Bale on that flank, Kevin. Always a threat on one-on-one situations with the full-back who's playing tonight, Boca. I wondered, would they have played Miguel Torres, the ex-Real Madrid player, but they opted to bring Boca back in, probably because he's a wee bit quicker than Miguel Torres. So ball against Amrabat.
Malaga are missing one of their regular centre-backs, the Brazilian Wellington. If Angeleri's on a short fuse, we can tell you Wellington's is mighty shorter than that. Here's Amrabat finding a pocket of space. This is Wanmi, man who got the only goal and the win at Barcelona earlier in the season. Amrabat struck it well, and Casillas happy to help it on its way.
What a good strike, Kevin. I know it was a long way out, but he got hold of it really well, Amrabat. Plenty of power and pace in that one. And Casillas happy to push it over.
First corner of the game goes to Malaga. Crowd scene in front of Casillas. Bouncing ball is awkward for Arbeloa, and it's out for another corner.
It is. Interesting. Free kick, set play, corner kick. Man on the edge of the box hitting the volley. Arbeloa and Amrabat having a little bit of a chuckle. Bit of kidology going on there.
Once again, crowding Casillas. That's beyond the goalkeeper. Oh, and almost an opportunity opening up there for Wanmi.
Kevin, could he not have went for goal? It's as if he was trying to play it back. I thought he should have went for goal.
When the ball was knocked back in, I thought Wanmi was going to step onto it, but was unable to do so.
Well, there's poor marking here at the far post. Well, it is getting a bit tight. You can see the ball swinging away. It's Tony Kroos who's there, and you can see it better from this angle here. Well, he was nearly on the line. He's done probably well in the end. Let off for Real Madrid, though.
Here's Marcelo.
Handball. Rosales is saying it hit him in the side. Referee's bugging him, I think, isn't he, for handball. Now that's within Cristiano Ronaldo's range. Has he given him a handball? Let's see. It's definitely handball. His arm's up there, but is it deliberate? That's what you have to look at the situation. Does the referee feel it's deliberate? Has he booked him or not?
Well, I didn't see him reach for the card.
No.
Reach for his spray.
That's what I saw him putting his hand in his pocket. I thought he was going for the card. He went for the spray to give the free kick. So maybe he feels it was handball but not deliberate, so he hasn't booked him for that one. But still a dangerous position from Real Madrid's point of view.
Especially with the magnet that is Sergio Ramos from Real Madrid set pieces. How often the ball finds him.
Yeah, Ronaldo far post, Ramos far post. Nobody's picking Ramos up. That's the interesting thing. Ramos Rodriguez, he's got such a sweet left foot. Is he going to knock it and then just whip it in?
Still Sergio Ramos free.
Yeah.
Galeri's got half an eye on him. And the header brings a terrific elastic save out of Kameni.
Great save. Kevin wasn't happy with the Malaga marking. Not being funny, Sergio Ramos far post totally unmarked, but the ball was into the near post. Chicharito, I think, got his head on it.
Kroos for the corner. Initial header was won by Samu, and then Dada helps it away conclusively. Wasn't much in it when these two sides met back in November at La Rosaleda. Real Madrid came out on top 2-1. Goals from Benzema and Bale. Neither out there at the moment. If you joined the game in the last few moments, a warm welcome to you. Gareth Bale having to go off with a calf injury, which is a worry for the second leg coming up against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. Benzema out with a knee injury. Here's Dada.
This is the marking I'm disappointed with, Kevin. And you see Chicharito gets a good head on it. Decent ball in from James. Oh, there's nobody marking Sergio Ramos at the far post. He's totally unmarked. He's been unmarked at the far post for ages.
Well, you'd think he'd be the first player in a white shirt that needed firm attention.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I kept thinking, well, somebody's going to pick him up in a minute, but just zonal marking, or what was the idea? That's a good ball. It stays in. Unfortunately, it couldn't. It was a good run, though, from Chicharito.
Well, he'd be desperate to impress. Hasn't played enough for his liking since he made the loan move from Old Trafford. So difficult to break into that much vaunted front three. Just a start there on the pacey Boca. Tony Kroos, who spoke not long after the World Cup and feared a little bit of burnout, but there's been no sign of it from the German World Cup winner.
Well, I don't think Varane's come on that much this season, Kevin, and I wondered, was it the same thing? Was it the fact that he's a young player and he's so quick and he's got such a great career ahead of him that he didn't really improve that much this year, and maybe that's why he's not in the side. Certainly hasn't played enough games for me. I know he's had a couple of injuries, but sometimes too much. That's a good ball.
Arbeloa. Marking again, suspect. Hernandez did given the freedom of the Malaga penalty area there.
Well, there was a push from James, but I do think it was milked a little bit here by Castillejo. That's a dive for me. He felt fingertips and he made a meal of it. Got the free kick though.
Seen him do that 2 or 3 times in recent weeks. Castillejo, only 20. Don't want him picking up too many bad habits early on. He's got some talent.
He's got a lot of talent, skill, technique. It's just end product for me, Kevin. As I said earlier, only 1 goal.
Currently Spanish under-21 internationals. Samu Castillejo, not to be confused with his teammate, who we call simply Samu. Samu and Castillejo keeps it all in order. This is a chance to keep the attack alive. Samu's finding Recio, now it's with Castillejo. Down he goes again, but in vain, looks for a free kick.
He's diving too much again, Kevin, and I've mentioned it before myself and said he's got to try and stand on his feet a little bit more. I think sometimes he just wants to play for free kicks and not continue to keep the play moving. There's a break on for Real Madrid now.
It's James. Ronaldo. Marcelo given away cheaply.
I think the pass on to Ronaldo was on. Kevin, it was too tight. He didn't really want it back again. Marcelo's got a kick in the thigh for his troubles. It's not. It's the ball's hit him in the thigh. He didn't jar the knee. They've got enough problems having to lay it back.
Looks as though he'd be able to shake that one off.
Well, the interesting one I was talking to you earlier about, Kevin, is Nacho. He's on the bench tonight, and he's a utility player. He could play centre half or full back, but he's concerned about his future. He's not playing as many games as he should do, I think, and he's looking at his future for, you know, what he's going to do next season. He's a player Real Madrid won't want to go.
That was underlined by the fact they gave him a 6-year contract last summer. Nacho. Here's Pepe. Modric. James Rodriguez. Chance to trouble Boca here. Away by Sergio Sanchez. Castillejo. It's another play, I think. Yeah. It's Javi Gracia. Quick glimpse of the Malaga head coach, who was relegated last season with Osasuna, who looked like they might go straight down again, which is a real surprise for the Pamplona-based club in the relegation zone in the Segunda Division with games running out. Ronaldo, change of pace.
Rosales isn't happy. Right, he didn't get booked for the handball earlier. Is he going to get booked for this one? There's the hand get back in again, Kevin, and it's gone for the spray. He's done me twice, hasn't he? And he doesn't get the ball. He completely misses the ball and catches Ronaldo.
Touch fortunate there, I think. Rosales.
Yeah,
skates.
but they're mutting up. That's 2 now. He's gone. I think the next one that looks even close to being a free kick he could get booked for. One good save though from the goalkeeper, Kameni.
Save from Javier Hernandez header.
He was always a good shot stopper, wasn't he, at Espanyol? Strong, agile, very positive in and around the 6-yard box.
A little look round the corner there from Ronaldo just to see exactly what he's facing up to here. Oh, what a goal!
There you go, Sergio Ramos.
Malaga are wanting offside. No flag. Look at Kameni as they go across to celebrate with Sergio Ramos.
Well, Kevin, you mentioned him about 5 minutes ago, the last free kick, and he was totally unmarked for the free kick and said, you know, it's a threat. He's got 3 and 3 this season, 6 goals, and now complaint coming in here about his knee. Marcelo. Let's have a look, see, does he step out? He steps out, so he is behind the last defender. You can see his feet are behind the last defender. The linesman's looking from this side. It's a great ball in, but nobody's picking him up. Just like the last free kick, Kevin, from around the same area. Nobody's picking him up, and that's a tap in. And it's Angeleri who's complaining and asking for the offside. He's not offside. And you've got to do better than that when it comes to marking.
There's a suggestion he might just have been leaning offside where
I think
the
it's
feet
his
were
feet.
planted.
It's his feet. His hands were looking forward. He's leaning, but his feet were behind the last defender. And I think the linesman was looking right along that line.
Well, that's the one for the boys to sort out at half-time.
Yep. Well, it's split decisions, Kevin, all the time with the linesman.
I just wondered whether his right arm or maybe even his head was leaning slightly beyond the last man.
Well, his hand was outstretched. He was as if he was pointing where he wanted it to go. You can see his arm was certainly outstretched, but in the opinion of the official, the linesman on this right-hand side down below us,
the chaps will freeze that one at half-time and come up with a definitive answer, I suspect. Here's Boca.
They're going to change the result, though. They've given away a goal and they're going to have to change tact a little bit.
Well, whether it was offside or not, they paid the price for not keeping closer attendance on Ramos. That's for sure. This is Recio. Angeleri looks for Amrabat, policed by Pepe.
James catches it with his arm.
Goal, incidentally, for Sergio Ramos takes him level with his personal best season for goals, 7.
Do you remember he had that run? Was it last year? Towards the end of the season, he was scoring goals in the Champions League for fun. I think he got 2 in one game and scored some very important goals towards the end of the run-in. I wonder is he going to do the same this season?
None more important than that late one in the Champions League final. Took it to extra time. Free kick here for Real Madrid.
Well, I think it's dangerous play as a shout there from Angeleri.
Here's Modric. Real Madrid has certainly missed the Croatian international, who's had a number of injuries this season.
He's class, Kevin, I have to say, but you know what? Isco's been that good in his absence that we didn't miss him as much as maybe they should have done.
Still feel that they, I mean, he's barely started 50% of the league games this season, Modric.
Yeah. When
he has played, he's such a calming, composed presence in that midfield. Take your point about Isco, though.
Yeah, he's been great.
This is James, did well to work the space.
Great save. Wow, what a save that is, Kevin.
Still the pressure on Malaga. Away by Sanchez. Well, you were mentioning that he had a reputation as one of the very best shot stoppers, graphically illustrated there by Kameni.
Yeah, that's a fabulous save. Bottom right-hand corner. Got down so quickly.
Real character, the Cameroonian goalkeeper, who's been playing in Spain since 2004. A long spell at Espanyol.
Yeah, they like Cameroonian goalkeepers. Tommy Nakona was the goalkeeper in 83, 82, 83 for Espanyol.
Remember him well. Ronaldo. Support from Arbeloa. This is James. Ramos. Marcelo. And Javier Hernandez
again, and he's asking a question. You can see Kameni's not happy. Now watch this save, Kevin. Watch this. This is top drawer save. Gets it on his left foot. Not impressed with the defending, I've got to say. For me, Angelari and Co's got to close him down quicker than that, but give credit to the goalkeeper. Carlos Kameni does brilliant.
Still shaking his head, James Rodriguez. He thinks he scored.
Well, this is the other one to mark, and good ball in, Marcelo. Chicharito.
Look out, Sergio Sanchez.
He's saying get them up there, and he's looking to keep them up there. He's saying you're dropping too deep. Obviously they've practiced, but then they've conceded the goal early on, and they've practiced about holding the line on the edge of the box. That's what Kameni's upset about. It's a poor ball.
Modric. Arbeloa. This is Marcelo. Invites Ronaldo forward. Marcelo again. Isco. Good run from Arbeloa.
That's why he hasn't scored any goals this season, Kevin. Well, for a few seasons he makes the run, but it's one. Stick your leg out, just stretch your leg out and try and meet it on the half volley and hit the target. But once you let it bounce, it's running away because it's from the left-hand side. Right-footed player, it's always going to go away from him.
I'll be kind to him and say he's got one in the Champions League, but the league, you're right.
No goals in the league for, well, a long time. Well, great pro, good lad, great lad.
Veteran amongst the squad now. Arbeloa, 32.
See, you know, I can see why Nacho's so upset. You know, he'll think, I can play right back, I can play left back, I can play centre half, and yet I haven't had enough games this season, which is right.
Marcelo's pass behind Ronaldo. Good ball for
ball.
Amrabat. Needs support. Castillejo. Boca. Amrabat. Hernandez. James Rodriguez. Wonderful from Ronaldo.
That's class. That's class as well.
I think Marcos Angelari is muttering under his breath now. It's the last time I get isolated with Ronaldo.
But you see the shove. There's a little shove there. Maybe near enough a foul, but he was too tight and he's got turned. What a clever piece of skill. That's a nutmeg and a half.
All aboard the showboat.
Oh, absolutely.
Delightful.
It's class. Decent ball in as well after that. Get the free kick. Tony Kroos is going to cross this one from the right hand side. It's got to be Ronaldo they're aiming for.
See what the Malaga marking is like from this set piece.
Still man free at the far post, Kevin.
Fed in by Kroos. Goal, the header's in.
Offside. The linesman's flag wouldn't go up until he actually headed it, but let's see how quick they go out. No, he hasn't kicked the ball, they're all offside. That's what he's talking about, Kameni. That was what he was saying about the edge of the box. They've rehearsed this, they've worked really hard, and obviously Javier Gracia has had them well prepped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 offside.
Still increases the heartbeat a bit more in the modern era, doesn't it? The whistle used to go immediately in the old days. You're right, when they wait until the offside player actually makes contact with foot or head, and then the flag arrives.
The interesting one is they get another free kick in that position. What happens then? Do they come out? Because they know Real Madrid, whoever's going to kick, it's going to stutter on the ball and see, and cause a little bit of a hesitancy.
Here's Recio. early start for Sevilla, Granada. Bottom side Cordoba with a big job on there at Villarreal. Revista in its usual spot Monday at 6. Here's Modric.
Good defending from Boca. Yeah, they get that one right. Boca up against Modric once again.
Here's Kroos. Isco. There's Rodriguez in space, so too Ramos. Goal. The whistle's already gone.
There's another one of those decisions. Let's have a look. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Edge of the box again. They're holding the line. But it's just one of those defenders loses his concentration and drops deep and plays them onside. You're in trouble. Casillas can't keep this one in.
Wanmi, Dada, Samu, Wanmi, Marcelo straight to Dada!
Should have scored. Oh, Sergi Dada, what a chance. Kevin should have scored. Good play, good ball in here. Set up nicely by Marcelo, trying to stop it get in, and honestly, Darda's got to hit the target, got to score. What a chance.
You wonder if Malaga will get a better opportunity than that.
Good energy though. Wanmi did well. He's broke from a deep position. He's onside, Kevin. He's cut the ball back, and there's players getting into the box. And you can see they've been well rehearsed about how to come and score a goal on the counter-attack here at the Bernabeu. I think Real Madrid need the second goal just to give them that cushion and give a little bit of security.
Recio. There's the Argentine, Marcos Angeleri. Wanmi. Castillejo. Dada. Sanchez. Sergi Dada.
The ball well, Malaga. Patient as well, Kevin.
The best ball in by Rosales.
I think that was a rush of blood to his head. He got the ball in the wide right position, wanted to stick it into the box, but you're right, wasn't a good ball. Sanchez, Sergio Sanchez gives free kick away here.
James. Isco. Good work from Dada. He's gestured with his arm there. He looks in serious trouble there, Sergi Dada. Stayed down, writhing in agony. This is Amrabat. Didn't like that initial wave of the arm by Sergi Dada as he went to ground.
He doesn't go to ground easy, Kevin. Sergi Dada must have got. I think Isco has put his foot in just as he passed the ball back again. That's a poor effort from Recio. And as I say, he wouldn't go down and feign injury. Dada. There it is there. That's a poor challenge. That's a bad challenge from Isco.
so there's no serious damage for Dada. Back on his feet again. Ronaldo.
Castillejo back working hard, and Ronaldo gesturing as to where he wanted the ball to go. Javi Gracia seems quite unperturbed. His side's played quite well. Just that one question mark about the free kick that resulted in Sergio Ramos' goal. And how tight was the offside? That's a poor pass from Toni Kroos.
There's a question mark over the validity of the Real Madrid goal.
Well, I know his arm was pushing forward, Kevin, but your arm isn't classified as a part of the body that you can score with. It would have been his head, and I think his head was either level or behind the last defender. But you can see Carlos come in here just a few minutes later, was remonstrating with his defence because they hadn't got up to the edge of the penalty area, and that was something they've obviously rehearsed. I thought the marking was poor on the free kick.
Although I took a risk there. Just about had enough on the header to reach Casillas. Kroos. Isco. This is Ronaldo. Took one there from Recio.
Reluctant to go for the yellow cards at any time. He's just making a point and saying that's enough, enough's enough. And he's been quite generous with some of the decisions. It's not that bad a challenge, I don't think, Kevin. I think Ronaldo's made a little bit of a meal of it. He's been clattered a couple of times, but Bicandi Garrido's just making the point, that's enough.
Marcelo. Isco. Isco will be happy to be back in the starting 11. There was a little bit of criticism from Carlo Ancelotti in recent weeks that he'd dropped his ability to press the ball out of possession. We all know how good he is on the ball, but he's added that to his game this season. But Ancelotti thought he'd come off it by about 10-15%.
See, I don't think he's pressed that well today, Kevin. I actually think it's been a below par game from him. He has to up the tempo for me.
I think the other thing Ancelotti wants him to do as well is let the ball do the work a little bit more. He loves to run with the ball, doesn't he? And glide past and dribble past opponents.
And we know he can do that.
Yeah.
But I think he's feeling the pressure because James Rodriguez is fit again, and he feels his position is under threat.
Well, it is.
It's not about position to be in, though, from Ancelotti's point of view.
No.
To have that sort of luxury. The luxury he doesn't have is at left back, and we're talking about Contral, him being rested, not even in the squad. We're totally resting him for this game against Atletico Madrid.
James Rodriguez. Marcelo. Isco.
Yeah, see, Isco's second touch, Kevin, was poor. I just think he's putting himself under pressure. He works hard now to stop the ball being cleared by Sanchez, but I think he's giving it away cheaply there.
Goal scorer Sergio Ramos. Isco. Pepe. Modric available. Kroos. Marcelo. Oh, well, breaks on here now. Mistake by Marcelo. Here's Amrabat. Juanmi up alongside. Others arriving for Malaga, but the pass from Amrabat was not of the required quality. Now the break on at the other end. Here's Javier Hernandez. Ronaldo.
He fancied the shot. You've got to hit the target. Only 3 clear of Messi now. Kevin still on 38 league goals. Messi's on 35. Still a good contest. 91 goals, the front 3 for Barcelona have scored 88. Real Madrid, there's not an awful lot between them, is there? Is that why they're number 1 and 2 in the league? And still in the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Number 1 and 2 players in the world, and they push each other to ever greater heights. Ronaldo is just 1 goal away from hitting the 50-goal mark for the 6th successive season.
And we've no doubts he's going to do that. Absolutely none whatsoever.
Arbeloa. This is James. Referee Bikandi Garrido draws the first half to a conclusion. Real Madrid haven't had it all their own way. Khomeini's had to make a couple of eye-catching saves. Was Sergio Ramos offside for the goal? Boys will debate.